Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Ishavasyam Idam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Taktena Bunjita Madridakasya Svidhanam Kurvane Deha Karmani Jijivishakshatam Samaha Evam Tvainanyate Tosti Nakarma Lipyate Nare Asuryanamate Loka Andena Tamasavritaha Tamste Pritya Vigashanti Yeke Chatmahano Janaha Anejadikam Manaso Javiyo Naina Deva Abduvan Purvanarshar Tadhavatunyana Yeti Tishtat Tasminapo Matarishva Dadati Tadejati Tanaijati Tadure Tadvantike Tarantarasya Sarvasya Tadu Sarvasyasya Bhayataha Yastu Sarvani Bhutani Atmaneva Nupashyati Sarvabhuteshu Chatmanam Tato Navijuguksate Yasmin Sarvani Bhutani Atmaiva Budvijanataha Tatra Ko Mohakashoka Ekatvam Anupashyataha Saparya Gachtukram Makayam Amranam Ashnaviram Shutam Apapavidham Kahir Manishi Paribhusvayambur Yatha Yatyatotam Yadadashasvati Vyasamabhyaha Andam Tama Pravishanti Ye Vidyam Upasate Tato Puya Ivate Tamo Yahu Vidyayam Rataha Anyareva Urvidyaya Anyarahura Vidyaya Iti Shushu Madhiranam Yenastad Vichichakshire Sam Tadvidyam Chayas Tadedo Payam Saha Avidyayam Ratum Tirtva Vidyayam Ratum Ashrute Andam Tama Pravishanti Ye Sambhutim Upasate Tato Bhuya Ivate Tamo Yamu Sambhutyam Rataha Anyareva Usambhavad Anyarahu Rasambhavad Iti Shushu Madhiranam Yenastad Vichachakshire Sambhutim Cha Vinasham Cha Yastad Vedo Vayam Saha Vinashena Vratum Tirtva Sambhutyam Vratum Ashnute Yanmayena Patrena Satyasya Pihitam Mukham Tattvam Pushana Pavranu Satya Karmaya Drishtaye Pushane Karshe Yamasurya Prajapatya Vyuharashmin Samuha Tatyate Rupam Kalyanattamam Tate Pashyami Yosavasau Purusha Sohamasmi Vayuranilamamritam Atedam Pashvantam Shariram Om Kratos Smara Kritam Smara Kratos Smara Kritam Smara Agninaya Supataraya Sman Vishvani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Yuhyodhyasmastu Hadanameno Uyishtante Namahuttim Videma Shri Ishopanishad Sampurnam Hari vacho vegam manasa krodha vegam Shihva vegam udarapasta vegam etan vegam yovishahet dhira sarvamapimam pritivan sashishya atyahara prayasascha prachalpo niyamagraha janasangascha loyam cha Shadhir bhaktir vinashyati Utsahan nishchaya dharya Tatat karma pravartanat Sangatyagat shato vrite Shadhir bhaktir prasidyati Pradati pratikrinnati Kuhyamakya prishyati Bhukte bojayate chaiva Shagridam priti lakshanam Krishneti yasya hitam manasadriyeta Ikshasti chetra kipischa pajantamisham Shushrushraya pajana vignam ananyamanya Indari shunya hridamipsita sangalavya Drishtai svabhava janita vapushascha doshai Na prakritavamiya bhaktya janasya pashyed Gangam basam nakalubud buddhapena pankar Brahmadravatvam-apagacchati nirathanmai Syat Krishna nama charitadi sitapta vidya Pitopatapta rasanasya narochikanu Kintva varat anudilam kalusaiva chushta Svavikramat bhavati tad gadamulahantri Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu Smrityo kramena hasana manasi niyojya Tishtam vrajetananuragi jananukami Kalam nayeda kilamityupadesha saram Vaikunthajjanito varamadupuri tatrapi ratsotsavan Vrindaranyamudadapani ramanat tatrapi govardhanaha Radha kunda vihapi gokulapate premamrita lavanat Kuryadasya virajato giritate sevam vivekinaka Karmibhya parito hare priyataya yaktim yayurnyaninas Tebyo jnana vimukta bhakti parama premaika nishtastata Tevyasta pashupala pankada drishattabhyopi saradhika Prishta tatvadiyam tadiya sarasi tamnashrayaka kriti Krishnasyo chai pranaya vasiti priyasi vyopi radha Kundam chasya munibirabhitastadrikeva vyadayi Yapreshter apyalam asulabam kim punar bhakti bhajam Tad prenedam sakrit api sarasnatur avishkaroti Shri Upadeshamrita Sampurnam Radhe Shyam Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahi Mam. Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahi Mam. One more time, sit good. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahi Mam. One more time. You gotta say Pahi Mam. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahi Mam. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahi Mam. Krishna, please save us. Krishna! 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 Krishna book. Where did we leave off? That's Brajras Bhavana. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. Looked like we had it. Krishna, 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 hey. Krishna, 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 hey. I see the screen, but I'm not feeling a lot of confidence right now. That's it? Okay. Krishna Katha means narrations about Krishna. There are two Krishna Kathas. Narrations spoken by Krishna and narrations spoken about Krishna. The Bhagavad Gita is the narration or the philosophy on the science of God spoken by Krishna himself. Srimad Bhagavatam is the narration about the activities and transcendental pastimes of Krishna. Both are Krishna Katha. It is the order of Lord Chaitanya that Krishna Katha should be spread all over the world, because if the conditioned souls suffering under the pangs of material existence take to Krishna Katha, then their path of liberation will be open and clear. The purpose of presenting this book is primarily to induce people to understand Krishna or Krishna Katha, because thereby they can become freed from material bondage. This Krishna Katha will also be very much appealing to the most materialistic persons, because Krishna's pastimes with the gopis cowherd girls are exactly like the loving affairs between young girls and boys within the material world. Actually, the sex feeling found in human society is not unnatural because this same sex feeling is there in the original personality of Godhead. The pleasure potency is called Srimati Radharani. The attraction of loving affairs on the basis of sex feeling is the original feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we, the conditioned souls, being part and parcel of the Supreme, have such feelings also, but they are experienced within a perverted, minute condition. Therefore, when those who are after sex life in this material world hear about Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, they will relish transcendental pleasure, although it appears to be materialistic. The advantage will be that they will gradually be elevated to the spiritual platform. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that if one hears the pastimes of Lord Krishna with the gopis from authorities with submission, then he will be promoted to the platform of transcendental loving service to the Lord, and the material disease of lust within his heart will be completely vanquished. In other words, such hearing will counteract material sex life. This book, Krishna, which is filled with Krishna Katha, will thus appeal equally to the liberated souls and to persons who are trying to be liberated, as well as to the gross conditioned materialist. According to the statement of Maharaj Parikshit, who heard about Krishna from Shukadeva Goswami, Krishna Katha is equally applicable to every human being, whatever condition of life he is in. Surely everyone will appreciate it to the highest magnitude. But Maharaj Parikshit also warned that persons who are simply engaged in killing animals and in killing themselves may not be very much attracted to Krishna Katha. In other words, ordinary persons who are following the regulative moral principles of scriptures, no matter in what condition they are found, will certainly be attracted, but not persons who are killing themselves. The exact word used in Srimad Bhagavatam is pashugna. Which word? Which means one who is killing animals or killing himself. Persons who are not self-realized and who are not interested in spiritual realization are killing themselves. Give a verse from the Sri Upanishad that says that someone who doesn't take the Krishna consciousness is killing himself. Go ahead, take the mic. We need a bushel basket of microphones, please. See if you recognize the verse that she says.
Asurya namate loka andena tamasavrita tamste vigakshanti kechatma manojana.
Let's say it all together. Asurya namate loka andena tamasavrita tamste pritya vigakshanti Eke chatma hano janaha. Who can say what it means? Yes.
The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, enters into the faithless dark planets of ignorance?
Pretty close. They may take 1 point off on your Bhaktivedanta test. Yeah, the Atmaha doesn't literally mean that the soul is killed, because the soul is never killed. But it's as if the soul enters into such a dark condition by moving further away from Krishna that he forgets entirely his real purpose in life and is in complete ignorance of Krishna. Should I keep going a little further because you like to hear Krishna Katha? Yes. We're going to vote. 1 vote, yes. 2, 3, 4. Passes. It passes. Okay. Because this human form of life is especially meant for self-realization, by neglecting this important part of his activities, one simply wastes his time like the animals. So he is pashugna. So where does the word neglect come from? We have a research team. Does anyone want to guess what language it comes from? Who said Greek? Ritvik says Greek. Anybody else? Latin? You like the higher percentage guesses, do you? Yeah, what do you think? Spanish? Okay. Let's look and see. It could. Latin, Spanish, same thing. Okay. What do you got? Neglect.
Neglect is from the 1520s, and it means to omit.
Where's it from? For what era does it come from, the word neglect?
The
1520s? Where were you guys in the 1520s? Do you know? You were with Krishna? Okay. Yes? Okay, it comes from the 1520s. Who can say what was going on in the world in the 1520s? Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda were here, and that's when the word came? Okay. Any other world events? 1520s. Where's all these high-priced educations coming from? Okay. 1520s, go ahead, keep going. Oh, yes? What was going on in 1520s? Sad Goswamis just moved to Vrindavan in the 1520s. Thank you. Now that's noteworthy. Okay, go ahead. Neglect.
It comes from Latin.
Latin. Give him a hand. A little more than that. He guessed the language it's from. There you go. Okay.
It comes from Latin neglectus, which means to treat carelessly or heedlessly, treat with disrespect or without proper attention or care.
Okay. Does this say anything more about it?
It comes from Old Latin called neglegere, which means literally not to pick up.
Not to pick up. Now, did you know that Prabhupada tells about how to use neglect in Krishna service? Who said yes? Mukuravinda, of course you know. Can you look up the quote? Have you ever heard of tender, loving care? What's the acronym? Have you ever heard of tender, loving neglect? Huh? Does that sound wrong? It does sound wrong? Actually, there's a good application for it. Tender, loving neglect. Prabhupada says, when your senses tell you to do something that you don't want to do or you know you shouldn't do, you can apply TLN, tender, loving neglect. So have you ever neglected to do your homework? Oh, come on. Have you ever neglected to clean up your room? Okay. You know how to do it then. It's easy. So when your senses, Prabhupada said, come calling to, you can just neglect them the way you neglect to do your homework and to clean up your room. That's called tender, loving neglect. What do you think? Is it okay? Okay, we got 2 thumbs up and a yes in the front row. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. McCarvin's still looking. We'll find it. It's hard to find. I'm going to read a few more sentences, and let's try intensive hearing. Are you ready? I'll show you how to do it. It's a special way you got to sit. It's there in the Bhagavatam because when Krishna was leaving the world, he was leaning against a young banyan tree. Did you know that? So he's leaning back, and who did he meet? Uddhava. Anybody else? And Maitreya. And how was Uddhava sitting to listen to Krishna? It's there in the Bhagavatam. Huh?
Anat Kandra.
Say it again.
Leaning forward.
Yes.
Anat
He's leaning
Kandra.
forward with his left or right ear forward. You see how to do that? Lean forward, like put your forearm on your knee and lean in like this. Yeah, very good. Now I'm going to read a few sentences. I want you to listen like that. Are you ready? No, I'm serious. Here we go. The other meaning of the word refers to those who are actually killing animals. This means persons who are animal eaters, even dog eaters. For they are all engaged in killing animals in so many ways, such as hunting and opening slaughterhouses. Such persons cannot be interested in Krishna Katha. 2 more sentences. Lean in. King Parikshit was especially interested in hearing Krishna Katha because he knew that his forefathers, particularly his grandfather Arjuna, were victorious in the great battle of Kurukshetra only because of 1600 on your SATs. Just because of that. 1600. You know what that means, right? You can go to any school you want. Okay. So if you ever want to encourage the person who's reading or speaking Krishna Katha, what should you do? Very good. Very good. Excellent. Thank you. And listen very carefully. Then Krishna will notice that you're listening very intently, and from within your heart, he'll give you special consideration, transcendental knowledge. Okay? Yes. Gaur Premanande. When Mukharvind finds it, we'll let you know. Right now, it's time for a game. Are you ready for a game? Yes. Oh, all right. Here we go. Gamesters, tell us what we've won.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we have a few slides for today's game, but until the slides come up, our game is actually called Darshan Detectives. Yeah. So the game is really, really simple. We have slides that will have images of deities and zoomed in pictures of deities. So your goal is you have to guess the deities and the location, but bonus points if you get both. And everybody can say it, everybody can guess. There's a lot of hard ones in here, so you have to be watchful. And so also if you have the right answer, you please say it loudly so we can hear you in the front. So we have it right here. Is everyone ready?
Ready!
Okay, we'll start with the first one. This one's easy.
Mother Mohan.
Yes, okay, Madan Mohan. This is our very own Radha Madan Mohan. That was really easy. It gets harder, I promise. The next one. Okay, I got Sukeshwari Mataji got it. This is the Ashtasakis in Mayapur, but this is specifically Tunga Vidya. Okay.
Krishna Balaram.
Jai,
Vrindavan. Haribol.
Yes, Haribol. This is the Krishna Balaram deities in Vrindavan. And now it gets just a little... Oh. Jai, we got it. This is Advaita Acharya. No, Advaita Acharya in Laguna Beach. Jai, we got it. This is I'm finishing it. Yes, the Radharaman in Vrindavan. Yes, Tulsi Bhakti Mataji got it. This is the Ram deities in the manor. Prabhu got it all the way back there. This is Radha Govinda in New York. Nitai Sachi Sudha. This was Ayendra Prabhu's deities. Radha Kalachandji. This is a very specific Jagannath. Giridhari. Haribo. These are the Jagannath deities at ISKCON Berkeley. Where? Jai, yes, this is the Dameshwar Mahaprabhu in Navadvip. This is the next one. Okay, so we have half of it. These are the small deities, but where? Haribo, yes, these are the small deities at ISV. Okay, wait, sorry. Well, I'll give a little hint for this one because it's a little hard. This is the flute, and they're in Vrindavan. Jai, Mataji got it. This is the Radha Madan Mohan in Vrindavan. Haribo, this is the Ayodhya Ram. Where? Prabhupada, where? Yes, Marge got it. It's the Prabhupada, the Prabhupada Samadhi. Okay, this one's really hard. Gornitai, yes. I'll give you a hint, it's in California.
Los Angeles.
Jai, it was the Gornitai in Los Angeles. This is Radha Madhavan. Yes, Radha Madhavan. Okay, this is the last one. It's a tough one. Yes, this is Lakshmi Devi's feet. Honestly, we had this picture at the very end because we thought it would stump everybody, but I am pleasantly surprised. It was really great. And so this was just a reminder that we always have to observe the beauty, as Maharaj was saying today in lecture, the beauty and the details of the deities. They're so intricate and they're so beautiful. So this was a game just to highlight those little intricacies, and we hope that next time you see the deities, you notice these little things. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Haribo! Ramani. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare
Haribo! Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama. Go Paul, go Paul. Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Dasa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Jai Go Prema Nande Hari Hari Bol. And now we have a little time for some reflections. Any way that you're experiencing the world as you practice Krishna consciousness, you can share with others. Krishna Dev. We'll give you a mic. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. In the introduction, we talked about animal killing. What about insect killing and pest control?
Pest control? Well, ahastani sahastanam aparani chatuspadam falguni tatra mahatam jiva jivasya jivanam. In this world, the Bhagavatam says, in order to live, you have to kill, whether it's plants, insects, and one animal kills another animal and so forth. But when it comes to discriminating, then we do ahimsa, which means to the best of our ability, we're careful. But in principle, we're not striving for vegetarianism per se. Our vegetarianism is a result of us being prasaditarianism. Prasaditarianist. Prasaditarians. Because we offer to Krishna those mode of goodness foods, simple foods, and so forth. In the process of gardening anything, some living entities, including weeds, will be pulled out. There are inevitably bugs that are killed and so forth in the process. Even as we breathe or walk around, that's why there's special kinds of sacrifices that everyone should perform every day. Ours is covered by chanting Hare Krishna. But as far as factory farming and using harsh pesticides and so forth, Prabhupada wanted us to show example how to have sustainable farming and be careful about overstimulating the soil or mass killing of other living entities through pesticides that get into the water and so forth. I hope that helps. To live means to kill. Even now as we're breathing, we're killing living beings, so one has to be discriminating as much as possible. Even Buddha said, don't kill big animals. Don't kill animals with hooves and so forth, because it's sinful. So one has to be careful.
Okay, so to summarize, pest control is okay as long as it's like a necessity for living. Otherwise, it's not.
Yeah, and there are much more natural ways of doing pest control. So there's, as you know, probably there's certain combinations of plants. One helps to keep away pests from the others and so forth.
Thank you.
Krishna. Rivik.
My mom always tells me hardships teach you something, which I found this really true, but I wanted to change that up a little. Hardships teach you something and they reward you as well. When I was learning Bhagavad Gita last year, it was really hard for me to get the Sanskrit pronunciation because I had all my English pronunciations, but all my assessors helped me through it and I was able to get a really nice Sanskrit verse. And now they've rewarded me because now as I'm learning translations along with it, I'm able to listen to myself singing the Sanskrit verse, which I always aspired for, and it always makes me extremely happy. Similarly, when I'm doing japa, 16 rounds or something, they're hard because 2 hours straight of doing japa, but then straight after doing that, you feel at peace, you feel no anger, you feel motivated, you feel all focused.
You look motivated and peaceful too. Thank you very much. Okay. Anybody else? Sharing means caring. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, in today's lecture, you talked that Krishna's photo is as same as Krishna's deity. Now, we have Krishna's photo all over our home. So, is there any restrictions where you can place Krishna's photo and where you can't?
Yes. One should respect Krishna's photo and put it in a place where you'll be able to honor Krishna's picture, for instance. Just be discriminating where you put it. Generally, in places where you'll be able to show respect to the picture. But although Krishna is the same as this picture, he's also, especially when we install a deity, and there's Panchratrik enacted where we're coming and ringing the bell and worshiping Krishna, then there are special rules and regulations for how to be in front of the deity. One shouldn't turn one's back to the deity. One shouldn't talk before the deity. One should not sit with one's legs spread out before the deity and so forth. Those same types of regulations are not enacted when the picture is in the house, unless that's your main altar is a picture, which is okay also. So there's some discrimination between, although Krishna is the same as his form, but when you invite Krishna to come to a specific place, as is the case in deity worship, then you show special reverence, and there are rules and regulations in the Panchratrik process. But in general, one should be careful about respecting pictures and so forth. So in deity worship and other places, when there are pictures or prasad that's not being served out, and devotees should be careful about how they treat it afterwards, how they dispose of such things, not indiscriminately. Anything else? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Why do everybody call you Maharaj?
Well, not everybody does. But you'd have to ask them, I think. Yes? 1, 2, 1. Yes. 1, 2.
I just wanted to share, I think the past 3 weeks, I've been picking jasmine flowers for my deities, and it was better than anything I've done the whole year.
That's nice, yeah. Haribol. Is it in your yard, the jasmine plant?
Well, it just overflows into our house because my neighbors have it.
Oh, that's even better. That's a devotee pastime from way back. Yeah, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Gitavali, he writes about growing a garden. He talks about, he plants a garden and he puts all kinds of fragrant flowers there. And then he says in his poem that he's writing about it that he grows Tulsi, he calls the empress of all the plants. And it's especially nice when you have some space to grow flowers that you can personally offer to the deity. There's flowers you can search out in many places. You can even send away for them if you want specialty flowers. When we planted our garden, we looked for flowers that were especially fragrant. And some of them had to come from other countries like Japan, because the camellia is one of the most beautiful flowers, but I've always had a irritation about it because it didn't have a scent. Why does such a beautiful flower not have a scent? And then when I was in Japan, I found that there are certain Japanese camellias that are scented. So we got some of those. They're in our front yard and some in the back. And they're prolific. They put out flowers that you can pick for the deities, and they have a scent. And it's very heartfelt, just as you were explaining about picking jasmine, to be able to search out flowers, put them in your garden, and then when they bloom at certain times of the year, when you offer them the deities, it's very satisfactory. Thank you for sharing that. Was one, 2, 3, and then we're out.
Maharaj, about the neglect that you are asking.
You found it.
Yeah, I think
I kept you busy for about half an hour there. I'm sorry, Carvin.
No, but
hard one.
It's my foolishness. I remember that we discussed many years back about this verse. This is one of the famous verse from the instruction of Rahuguna, Jad Bharat and Rahuguna, and the last verse of the 5th canto, 11th chapter, verse number 17, where the translation says, "The uncontrolled mind is the greatest enemy of the living entity. If one neglects it or give it a chance, it will grow more and more powerful, and it will become victorious. Although it is not factual, it is very strong. It covers the constitutional position of the soul. O king, please try to conquer this mind by the weapons of service to the lotus feet of the spiritual master and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Do this with great care." And in the purport, Prabhupada says, there is one easy weapon with which the mind can be conquered, is neglect. The mind is always telling us to do this or that. Therefore, we should be very expert in disobeying the mind's orders. Gradually, the mind should be trained to obey the orders of the soul. It is not that one should obey the orders of the mind. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that to control the mind, one should beat it with shoes many times just after awakening and again before going to sleep. In this way, one can control the mind. This is the instruction of all the Shastras. If one does not do so, one is doomed to follow the dictation of the mind. Another bona fide process is to abide strictly by the orders of the spiritual master and engage in the Lord's service. Then the mind will be automatically controlled. Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed Srila Rup Goswami, Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jiv Guru Krishna Prasad Paya Bhakti Lata Beach. When one receives the seed of devotional service by the mercy of the Guru and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one's real life begins. If one abides by the order of the spiritual master, by the grace of Krishna, he is freed from the service to the mind. Om Tat.
Thank you, Mukharvind, as usual. Well done. Now, we need a bumper sticker that says, "Disobey your mind." Okay, there was 2 more. Who was in the way in the back? Did you have your hand up? Okay, you left. Okay. Sukeshri.
I was just thinking that about wildflowers. We hear from Bhagavatam that Krishna was wearing wildflowers. So those wildflowers also had scent in them. I was just wondering, because usually wildflowers don't have any kind of a smell.
Stephanotis does.
Oh.
Stephanotis is a really
wildflower?
beautiful tropical flower. We grow them in our greenhouse. They almost look unreal because they're so stable. And they have a very beautiful scent. Gardenia, that's one of the things I most appreciate about our community is we use gardenias. You know, it's offense to offer a flower to Krishna that doesn't have any scent. That's in the Nectar of Devotion. And one of my pet peeves, I got a lot of them, apparently. It's all coming out now. Let it out, Vaisesika. Is when devotees offer flowers to the deity that don't have any scent. But that's not the main thing. It's after they do that, they bring it out and offer it to 200 other people. And everyone's going... So I actually I wrote a resolution, I brought it to the attention of the GBC that I don't like this. And they wrote a guidance paper that whenever anybody offers flowers to the deity, they should be scented. It's around that time that we decided here at ISV, it was decades ago, that we would only offer gardenias. It's a very expensive flower, but it's one of the most fragrant flowers in the universe, and especially, or in California or anywhere else. And so you may not have noticed it particularly, but every time the flower's passed around, it's a gardenia, not something where you try to figure out if it has a scent. And it's also very unpleasant when you get a non-scented flower and you pour some oil on it, because then people get the shock of their life, especially at Mangalarti. They're expecting some subtle... So, anyway, flowers...
Did you mention a nectar?
Stephanotis.
Nectar of Devotion, Prabhu? In which book is it mentioned?
So not offer flowers? Yeah, it's in the section about offenses in worshiping the deity, that you shouldn't offer a flower that doesn't have a scent.
Yeah. Whenever I dress the deities, I like to get this really tiny flowers for Radharani's hair, and I don't find that real scented flowers, but I will...
You can get them. Talk to Radhakrishnan up in Sacramento. He's a connoisseur of beautiful... He's given me some beautiful flowers for our greenhouse. If you ask him for whatever flower, he'll find it for you. He's an expert at it. Okay, we have 2 more, and then we're out. 1, 2, 3. All right, 3. That's it. 1, 2, 3. And then we're gone. 4, 5. We really have to go. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yesterday, me and Aditya Kendre, we were talking about how senior devotees, a combination of senior devotees as well as devotee friends, are really important for a progressing devotee. And today, me, Advait, and Akshay we went to Memorial Park in Cupertino for books. And this Indian man, he's like around 40 years old. He comes up and he's like, it's really good that you guys are doing this. I mean, you guys are really young, and it's amazing that you guys are giving out books on yoga and meditation. And he's like, have you guys been doing this from a young age? And Advait said that, yeah, I mean, we go to the temple every weekend. At first, when we were really young, we used to go to play with our friends and, just be with our friends. But eventually, all of us started asking questions, why are we here? Why are we doing this? And getting more interested in Krishna consciousness. And I was just thinking, or rather, I was just grateful to have this community where, we have a combination of senior devotees, friends, and well-wishers, so that, they can help us guide ourselves through bhakti, as well as, you can talk with your friends about what your realizations are, datati pratigranati. And it's just, I'm just really grateful to be in a community like ISV.
As we mature as a community, we notice there are generations. And those are very important also. When we were at the Rise Retreat in Nottingham in the UK recently, we were noticing that there are layers of generations. And because of that, there's a nice flow between the generations. Very senior devotees like Kripamoy Prabhu and Guru Charana Padma were there, and Yadubar and Vishaka. And then you had the next layer, down to the very young. And we were just noticing how complete it feels when there's those striations within the community. and it offers. There's those who can offer wisdom, and those who are looking up, and then the ones that are adjacent to one another. As I've noticed here, the young devotees who are not young anymore, as in being children who are matured, they're helping the other young people. When I went in to visit whichever class that was in there, it was Gopal? Kaishora class, and Brajaras Bhavana was in there. And he's been going in there and looking out for the kids at that age. And it's just a very nice fit. Thanks for bringing it up. That's a heartwarming story. Okay, your turn. But really, after these two, nobody else raise your hand, okay? So it's hard for me to say no.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So we were reading from the Krishna book today that any living entity in any body can take up to Krishna consciousness. And the example that struck to my mind was when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was small, he found a dog that he really liked, and then he eventually made the dog into a devotee and liberated him. And I was just thinking that Krishna is so merciful to even make dogs and dog eaters, he makes it so easy for them to go back home, back to Godhead.
Jai, thank you very much. It's one of my favorite stories in the Antya Leela Chaitanya Charitamrita when that dog follows Shivananda Sain. You know that story? He comes. The dog joined the Sankirtan party, and Shivananda Sain, you're with us. You can come with us. It's the mood of the devotees. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu liberated him too. Thank you. Okay, 1, 2. That's it. We'll save you for the last. We'll go out with a bang.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I'll make it quick. I just wanted to say that your lecture today came at a very opportune time, as I've been reflecting recently, especially because it's harder to stay devoted bereft of spiritual association. But I think that your lecture today was a stark reminder that Bhakti Yoga's 3 fundamental principles are what makes it so powerful more than anything else due to its availability. I was reflecting on the verse, as you mentioned today, from Srimad Bhagavatam 4.23.27. Tesham durapam kintvanyam martyanam bhagavatpadam bhuvi lola yusho yevai naishkarmyam sadhayantyuta. And as you mentioned, Krishna Katha is available to all, and that universality is what makes it so powerful. And I was also reflecting on how Bhakti Yoga it's really just so fun. Like, as you were mentioning, like the devotees in Chicago just staring at Kishore. They're just staring, and that's all you have to do. You just have to soak in the divine nectar of the holy name. And that's really what liberates you at the end of the day.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I was going through the Nectar of Instruction, and I just wanted to share one of my favorite verses of all time. It's number 7. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapya Vidya Vitto Patapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintvadarat Anunidam Kalaseva Jushta Swadvikramad Bhavati Tad Kadamula Hantri. I really like this verse because it gives like a great analogy of jaundice, and saying jaundice is a disease where everything sweet tastes bitter. And Srila Prabhupada is saying how jaundice is considered, the disease of jaundice is considered like ignorance. And then the holy name is considered like sugarcane juice, which is the cure for jaundice. And then Krishna is when your senses finally regain their full control. And I really like this analogy because at first, when you taste the sugarcane juice, when you have jaundice, it tastes really bitter. But it's kind of like the holy name. Whenever you chant the holy name, you don't like it a lot and you want to stop. But when you keep persevering, it turns sweet, just like the sugarcane juice. And when your senses come back, you can finally reunite with Krishna. and I just think it's a really nice verse.
Now, when you were describing the verse in the beginning, and you said, everything sweet tastes bitter, I think you could get a song out of this. Do you know how to write a song? You could probably figure it out. He could help you. He's a songwriter. But doesn't that have there's a hook to it. Everything sweet tastes bitter. You could turn it in, there could be a hook to that song, and it could be an explanation of the process of chanting. What do you think?
I'll definitely try it out.
You want to maybe consult with him because he's a songwriter. He could maybe tell you how to set it up, and then next time you could sing it. Okay? What do you think? What does everybody think? We'll vote on it. Let's vote. Okay, the Hari Bols have it. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Lakshmi Nrsingadev, if you so desire, please give us the impetus to always chant your holy name, even if it tastes bitter, so that we can come to taste the sweetness, having been cured of the disease of ignorance. Thank you for considering our request. Om Tat Sat. Everyone agrees with this prayer, in whole or in part. Please unmute and say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.